Hey, Rick and Brandie, how are you doing this evening?
Good, how are you?
Good. Brandie,
I'm
doing
doing well,
okay?
thank you. Yes.
Well, listen, we're finishing up here our time working together, and I really want to thank you guys because I get as much out of this, hopefully, as you guys do. But I really appreciate you guys giving me the time to teach you guys what I've been working on, which is how to teach couples to stay together forever, how to make a marriage successful. What are the keys to a successful marriage? So, what are your guys' thoughts about working with me? Rick, I'll start with you. What is your thoughts about working with me throughout this process we've just gone through?
I think working with you was pretty good. There were some real good topics in the book that we touched on, talking about demons and, forgiving your parents and stuff. And, I'm kind of talking to Brandie while I'm talking to you, that bit of the movie kind of just pissed me off and enraged me. And then she asked me, if I forgave my dad about certain things, because that was me when I was a kid.
The Goodwill
I would take
Hunting
up,
scene that we just watched.
yeah, I would take up or aggravate my dad so his aggression would be towards me or my brother. I always took the beatings. And it was all work related with my dad, I guess, with PTSD, and he was a sheriff and all that shit. So he brought his work home. So she was messaging me back and forth because I got really, you could tell my mood changed. And the first thing she asked me was, "Have you forgave your dad about it?" Yeah, probably not. So
That's the process, though, right? Going through that healing process.
yeah.
I know it's not easy, but once you get through it, it's pleasant. Brandie, what are your thoughts about working with me?
It has been very good. It has opened up my eyes to a few things, especially at the beginning, as far as um, instead of becoming angry, what was my fear? I'd had a situation with Rick. Instead of me just blowing up at him, it actually took me about a week to process everything, to say, okay, what was the root of my issue with what he was doing, instead of just, why are you doing that? What the hell's going on? Actually talking to him, saying, okay, this is the issue that I had. I just don't understand. And he even said, he's like, well, you were a little off this past week. I said, yeah, I was doing some processing. I was thinking, so that way I didn't come across it and being rude. So it has opened up my eyes as to how to deal with certain things a little bit better.
What are the biggest things you guys learned about your marriage? Rick?
It's easier to talk than fight.
What?
Easier to communicate than fight.
Brandie?
Yeah, it's like I said, trying to process everything so that way we don't argue, or it's more of a discussion. So, and being able to pick up the triggers because since we both have PTSD, to try to diffuse things for each other in a different way. So
how's this improved your marriage?
Well, we actually do more stuff together. We enjoy having dinner together when we do have dinner. Yesterday we stayed in bed all day and just slept. Just having somebody there was kind of nice. And we didn't have any intimacy or anything yesterday. It was just kind of, let's just blah day, which I never get. Yeah, I thought I was going home in the morning, but evidently I'm fucking not. So, excuse my words. I was supposed to be home by 10 o'clock. Now I won't be home if I go home till 3 because of this.
Oh.
So,
Brandie?
it's a little more enjoyable.
It has been.
Being able to just talk and communicate and put the phones away and actually just have a one-on-one with each other. So
Definitely.
So what final words would you like to leave to anybody watching this video as far as, you know, their thoughts on improving their marriage and learning how to create a successful one?
I would definitely invite people to your seminar and come into it with an open mind, and keep an open mind throughout the book, because if you don't keep an open mind, you'll get lost. If you're not into the the psychological stuff and all that, and just pay attention to what you say and bring it home. There's key points in every session that you can take something out of. You don't have to go page by page, but there's something you can take out of every session to take back to your family, or take back to your wife or spouse, whatever it is, and relate it to real world stuff. I'm not gonna lie. When we first started this, I was like, yeah, this is just bullshit. But the more that we got into it, the more I started talking about it to other people, the more I started reading into it, the more I started getting more out of it. And I'm like, oh, well, I can do this, and it actually works. Communication built with my wife before. If I got irritated, I'd be like, nah, just blow it off and go do what I needed to do, go to work, and really didn't care. Prior to this, I thought our marriage was, going towards the end, and it was just going to be miserable for both of us. But then, as we get to the end of the book, if it ends that way, then, you need to end it on good terms, because eventually we're going to come back to it. We get reincarnated. This relationship's been going on and on and on through different people. So we kind of keep going back to each other eventually, so we might as well work it out and figure it out.
Brandie?
If that makes sense.
Absolutely. Thank you, Rick. I appreciate those words. Brandie?
what was the question again? I'm sorry.
What would you leave for some final thoughts with the other people that would be watching this, as far as, learning and the opportunity to, figure out how to make their marriage work?
I have done counseling in the past for previous marriages, and I got absolutely nowhere with it. Communicating with you and reading the book, I feel, has helped this marriage. You delve into certain things that therapists don't. And it is very eye-opening, and it does help. It as long as, like Rick said, you go into it with an open mind, you can get something out of it, and you will get something out of it.
Thank you, guys. I appreciate you guys. I really enjoyed
One more thing to add,
guys, and it's been great. So I appreciate your guys' kind words.
got one more thing to add.
Sure.
Majority of counseling, it's judgmental. This marriage counseling has never been judgmental. You never put it on me. You never put it on Brandie. I became a PTSD counselor and trauma counselor because when they sent me to a counselor, they didn't know shit. So I became a counselor myself, so I could counsel myself and I counsel others. Every other counseling session I've been in, whether it's PTSD, work-related violence, whether we've used force or whatever, it's always one-sided. This session has never been one-sided. It was almost like from day one, we became part of a team with you and you worked with it. It was never, well, Brandie does this, or you've done this, or your parents done this. It was always like, we addressed everything in one spot. It didn't overflow into anything else. So as far as anybody else taking this counseling session or this therapy or whatever you want to call it, I would definitely say it's worth the money. It's worth your time. You'll like the benefits at the end. So
Appreciate that. Thank you guys very much.